Hey, it's Tammy, and this is another episode of Where is the Sun? This is where we discuss the energies as the sun moves through the gates of the Human Design Mandala. Today, as I started my recording, I had two thoughts. One is if my room was a little neater, I'd look like a slob. And two, my son is always telling me that I should explain more in the beginning of these for people who have never listened to them before, and I actually... someone who actually watched the videos was like, well, I liked it, but I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, human design is a system of, the definition I find about it is like self-realization, behavior management, and like self-discovery, I guess. And what happens is it combines a bunch of different modalities, astrology, the I Ching, things like that, into one system where a graph is created based on your date and time of birth, and in that you receive information about how energy flows through you. It's based on the belief, realization, whatever, that everything is energy and that we're constantly being penetrated by the neutrino stream that comes down from like space onto the earth. And as the energy moves through our body, it reacts in different ways. It can be when you have a lot of definition in your chart, it can mean that the energy always flows through in one specific way. I always use an example and nobody knows what the heck I'm talking about, but like that sand or water toy you had when you were little, and you pour the water in the top, and then sometimes it went this way and made something spin, and sometimes it went over here and made something spin, that kind of thing. But I guess you could think of it as anything you want, but anyway, so the energy moves through your body, and it either moves through in a direct way or an indirect way, depending on your definition or openness in your chart. People who have a lot of openness feel things in many different ways or process the energy in many different ways. People that have a lot of definition, if left unaware, will process in like one way, but with awareness you can change the way that you process certain energies. So, that being said, it's changed my life. Nobody I have read for has ever said, hey, that's not me at all. Nobody I've ever read for didn't get some value out of having a consultation or a reading or even just looking at their chart one time. So anyway, I love it, and that's why I do it. So this week, the sun is still in the 24, which I talked about last week, and it'll stay there until Tuesday. And then it will move into the 2. Now, when I learned human design, I learned that the 2 has to do with being able to pretty much manage money. The other side of it's the 14 and always kind of running into money when you need it and being able to have what you need to get by. And the 2 was more of being able to get it and keep it and use it, save it, I guess is the word. See, I don't even know the word. I can tell you this much. I spend money before I even have it. So I do not customarily have the 2 defined in my chart. When the 2 comes, I try to use the energy, or when the sun moves through the 2, I should say, I try to use the energy to for the best. But like I said, I'm expecting a little bit, and I think I've already spent it. So that being said, as I went more into the 2, because it's not something that I have in my chart and not something that I visit often, and actually a lot of people that I read for don't have it either, I looked that it has to do with being able to receive, being able to adapt, being able to keep what works and not what doesn't, being able to determine where you want to go and not exactly knowing how you're going to get there, but holding that vision so that one way or another you're going to reach that goal. I would say I do use that energy more than I had thought, so there must be somebody around me that has the 2. Just to back up on that is wherever you're open in your chart, if somebody's defined that's near you, you take in the energy of that person and amplify it. So the 2 must be around here somewhere. I'll have to look at my kids' charts or something. So when the sun moves into the 2, it'll be a time where maybe you should work on your budget. I know I'm going to. See what you can cut out, what you need more of, where you could change your spending. I know a lot of us, we make enough to get what we need, but then we always seem to be struggling. So this is a good time to figure out what you need to change in order to do that. Maybe cut back on something, add a little of something else, whatever. Also to set those goals that will bring you that happiness that you're looking for. And again, don't try and figure out how you're going to get there or how it's going to happen, or even when, for that matter, because sometimes we will set a goal and think that it should happen in a month, but it doesn't happen for like 6, or maybe it won't happen until next year. I forget exactly what happened to me recently, but I was like, oh my God, that's something I thought of like 2 years ago. Or a few years before I got my most recent job, I was talking with a friend and I was like, oh, I should get a cable show, you know, on the local channel and do my human design stuff, and I'll have part of my job will be my TV show. Well, the job I have now, I do a TV show. So it worked its way into my life somehow. It's not this, or this could be a TV show. I don't know. I'm doing videos all over the place. So hold that vision. Don't let it go. Even if it seems like you'll never be ready for something, who knows, in time that can all change. So keep that vision there. Don't ever sit there and think like, oh, I'll never be able to do that because I don't have the money, or oh, I'll never be able to do that because I'm stupid. None of that. Throw that all out the window. So, as usual, if you don't have a chart of your own, just send me your birth information, date, time, if you have it, location. If you don't have the time, it won't be an exact. Some would argue that it's never exact because human design can be broken down to the second, but I personally don't know the second of my time of birth, nor my children. So we do the best we can with what we have. If you don't know the time of day, like the time at all, like you can pick a time of day. If you don't know the time of day, I can run it a few different ways, and then with a little brief conversation, figure out which one that you feel is you, and more importantly, that I sense is you. And then you get a chart, a summary of your chart, and then a document on the different parts of the chart that's more general. And then you can check out my website if you want more information on readings and prices and things like that. I do hope to get back to blogging soon, and I still owe you guys another relationship video, but that's going to have to wait because I'm wicked busy this week, unless I get up early tomorrow and I'm motivated and I post it. So take care. Have a good week. Bye-bye.